Freeloaders. I'm 3T.
And I'm Mike Papa Foxtrot.
Freeloaders is a regular look at what is or has been free to download from the PlayStation Network. We download the games and give them a play and see if they're worth the download bandwidth and time.
This time we're looking at Dirt Rally 2.0, a racing video game that is the 13th title in the Colin McRae Rally series and the 7th title to carry the Dirt name. Gameplay focuses on rallying and rallycross, with players competing in time-staged events on tarmac and off-road terrain in varying weather conditions. Released for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on the 26th of February 2019, these are our first impressions.
Now, you and I are both old enough to recognise the Colin McRae Rally name, and I wonder if it is an age thing, because if there have been 7 Dirt Rally games, and it's the 13th Colin McRae one without the name, it is a name that means something to me. What about you?
Absolutely, I've played it on an arcade on a ship. Yeah,
there you go. There you go.
So shall we jump in and push X?
Let's see what our options are. I'm ready when you are. Let's go for it.
I'm pushing X now.
Okay, so really...
And it's checking content.
Oh, yes, you'll need to set up a new save game. Well, might as well then.
Yeah, go on then, let's create a new save
Otherwise
game.
We're going back to the title screen.
Absolutely. I've played, and I have to accept the terms and conditions.
Reading.
It was funny, we were just talking about reading contracts just a minute ago. I haven't read that at all. Please wait. And the thing is, I've played Colin McRae on an actual proper arcade cabinet, like I said,
sitting
on
in the
boat,
car kind of thing.
Yeah, about 20... I don't know if... No, there wasn't the car. It was just literally you had to stand up and you had the steering wheel. It wasn't even an encasement. It was about 25 years ago. So Colin McRae's been around for a very long time. I've got to create a profile. It wants my nationality to be Finnish. It's decided my first name is Player and my last name is One. I'm happy with that.
Well, I'm using first name 3T and surname is going to be 3. Because that's just a callback to where 3T
that means
comes from.
I have to actually put my bloody name in. While
you do that, I'll just choose a driver appearance. I'm gonna be 3. I'll be 3 because I'm 3T3, and I'll be driver number 3. All the 3s, and I'm gonna click confirm.
Well, I'm going to be Mike Helicopter. I'm too lazy to write helicopter, so I'm just writing Mike Helo.
Excellent. Yeah. So
I might be a lady. I'm going to be a lady.
Excellent.
Welcome to Dirt Rally 2.0.
Oh, I've got a voice. What are we hoping for then, just before
menu.
we actually start playing, while this character's talking at
garage
me?
And staff.
Are we hoping that we're going to be
multiplayer?
We're going to be able to race against one another straight away without any issues? That's really, I think, what I'm looking for.
I don't know. I'm expecting to have my hand held a little bit and be shown how to drive. I don't know how this is going to work with
in free play. You will find historic championships, the FIA. This is in the store.
Options and extras. You've got game settings, so that you probably want to go to that straight away from your main menu. When the guy's talking to you about, I don't know, whatever he's talking about, I cut him off.
I don't know, but at least I pronounced the game right. I did say 2.0.
Yeah, well, I don't know what else they would say. What else would you call it? 2.0.
So do I go to garage to purchase and maintain vehicles, staff to train your team?
Well, you probably want to look at your controller settings at the moment, don't you, for your axis settings?
View input settings.
I'm hoping. So while you're doing that, there's a free play option. We've got historic playthrough rally history. Is it FIA? I don't know anything about racing, so I'm just going to be laughed at. Oh, there's the good old Monster logo. All the energy drinks sponsorships. Free roam, explore, custom, time trial, racenet clubs.
I'll tell you what. This has got so much adjustment in it that I don't know what to adjust. I'm already overloaded. I would say that some of this is literally for those like head-up displays where you have a head, not a head-up display, but you have like a mesh on your head, and when you move, the cameras see you moving, and so you actually can have split wraparound monitors. I know someone that used to do driving simulators, and they actually had a simulator in their own home, and they had the 3 monitors that wrapped around, and they used to have one of them. They used to also use it for playing Armour as well, where they used to have to walk 6 kilometers literally for real, which was never my cup of tea. But if that's what you like, I don't know what to change, so therefore I'm just going to leave it as default, and I'm rolling backwards because it's a little bit too much for me. I am rolling into audio, and I am just going to turn completely off the music, the menu for the music. I'm going to turn off the replay music because I don't want any of that nonsense on. I'm going to turn down the ambient sounds to about 50% because I'm an old man.
I was going to say, we're such old men, aren't we? Just what a couple of old men.
I'm going to turn the speech. I almost thought about turning the speech completely off because I don't care. Surfaces 50.
But what if the friendly man needs to get your attention and tell you a thing?
Oh, well, there you go. When I used to do when I used to play NASCAR with someone, I used to have a steering wheel and everything. I only recently got rid of that steering wheel. It was actually it wouldn't plug into a modern computer. That's how old it was.
What I'm going to suggest, I'm looking at the free play options. I'm going to suggest for our first impressions, we probably wanted to have a look at free roam, which should hopefully give us the opportunity to just get the controls of the car. And if we can throw in, I would say custom might let us have a go at 2-player. Maybe we'll see if we can get a 2-player within the first 10 minutes or so of actual play.
Or we can come back. Or we can come back at that. I mean, that's the thing.
Well, we're going to be having some races together.
Free play,
which we'll have to find out. But I would say free roam, and then we'll just have an explore of that just to see how the cars handle. Maybe
I like your plan. I like the fact that that's nice. I mean, basically, historic sounds really nice. I mean, it's got a lovely old Datsun there. Custom is obviously going to be a little bit like maybe a bit of a faff to treat things. Time trial will put us under pressure. I think free roam. Free roam sounds good.
This is a driving game, not a racing game, isn't it? Which is, I would say, a very important distinction to make, because we're going to have to be thinking about corners and thinking about the controls of the car.
I did enjoy in the blurb that it says that it is rallying and rallycross, and then explains the difference between rally and rallycross by talking about on tarmac and off-road, because of course rally is where you are racing on open stages going from one place to another, whereas rallycross is when you're racing on a circuit. I used to quite enjoy rallycross, used to watch it. The Australians used to do really nice rallycross, and they do it in a stadium. So rallycross is in a stadium, a little bit like BMX biking and that Monster Crash something or other.
Like
whereas rallying is actually a little bit out on the open terrain. So that's the difference that I understood. But of course, okay, free roam it is then. I'm starting free roam up. Mixed dry dirt fish. Literally, surface type, mixed dry dirt fish. Okay, that's, all right, that sounds good.
I'm just going to go for a Mini Cooper because I've looked through all the others, and I'm not particularly a car enthusiast, so whatever really. I'll just go make it a black Mini.
Oh, I don't know. I'm going with a Golf GTI. I'm going for the hot hatch, I think. Let's have a look. Let's see what there are. I'm not a car guy either, but
there there's
a really nice Opel. Oh, that's nice. And there's a BMW, but that's not. And there's another nice Opel there. I'm thinking a Lancia's quite nice. That's quite nice. But I think I'm going to go with the hot hatchback Golf GTI, the loud boy of the late 80s, early 90s kind of car, the hot hatchback.
I know absolutely nothing, so I'm just letting it load up. Washington, USA, Dirtfish.
Yep.
And
weather is clear.
What happens?
Surface type, medium gravel. Yeah. Start time. Weather clear. I don't know what's going on.
So loading up a track for me. I think I might just be a second or two ahead.
No, yeah, but I mean it's just going to be fun. Dirtfish. I now understand where the phrase Dirtfish comes from. Dirtfish obviously is the name of the track. I was wondering if it was a type of terrain that I'd never heard of before. Very nice. I'm getting. I could skip it, but I get nice sort of exposed. So tires. I can change my tires.
I'm in the service area. I'm just going to go start, I think. I just want to see how it drives. Oh,
I'm just having a look. at just the options. I'm not changing.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the options.
I'm already just having a quick drive around. I'm basically being the shit Stig.
You can
going around a test
You
track.
can change everything. Is really nice. You can change how the actual dampening on the car, the springs. It looks like you can adjust the toe and all that, and the camber of the wheels. Very nice. Yeah, I can. I guess it is. This is like Goat Simulator. The only difference is this is a proper simulator.
No, I think let's not be fooled by the word simulator in Goat Simulator.
This is really nice. I'm trying to do donuts.
All I found is the accelerator. So I'm assuming that is the brake. So brake, and that's reverse. So where's the brake? So standard GTA controls so far.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. I'm just literally doing donuts is what I'm currently trying to do. I'm sort of controlling the brake and the throttle to try and get the ass spinning out. And I've left. I've done not too bad there.
I'm going to see what happens if I drive into things. I'm just going to drive at a building top speed.
Is that the handbrake?
Well, that's the fence, not a building.
That's the handbrake. That's that. There's a lovely handbrake.
Terminal damage.
Yeah, but that's nice. I like that. That means you have to look after the vehicle as well. So that's nice.
That's why I wanted to test it. I just wanted to see what would happen if I tried to smash the car.
Also, I think because I've been doing donuts, I think I may have ruined some of the tyres a little bit. And I am, like, when I turn, I'm basically just accelerating really hard and then just turning, and the turn isn't quite happening as fast as it was initially. So I've probably already wrecked the car.
I would like to see if there's a sort of third-person mode. What are these buttons?
Oh, there were all sorts of view displays and things. Handbrake is square, apparently. Well, that's what it seems to be.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, no, I wanted to see outside the car because I'm watching it accumulate dirt and stuff. I just want to see what it looks like. And then, yeah, side, that's fine.
I assume my gearbox is automatic.
Don't know, maybe you can change that. Go over a jump.
I wonder if I can do a. I'm just gonna find myself a nice little area.
Is that water?
I'm going to hold down the brake, hold down the handbrake. Oh, he won't hold the handbrake down while I'm running the throttle. If I keep the brakes pushed on the engine. Oh, that's a shame. I was hoping to do like a massive wheel spin start.
Okay. Quite like it. It seems quite nice. The graphics are.
Hold down the
nice.
circle and the throttle at the same time, and the car really doesn't handle very well because that appears to be your e-brake, your like hydraulic brake, and so by locking the wheels, you're locking the wheels out on one side, and so you've got one wheel spinning and one wheel not, and then trying to tie it. It's like driving on ice. It's really fun.
I've got a lovely circle in the grit then, in the gravel.
I'm kicking up dust.
So, I don't know. There's much else I can much more.
Oh, and triangle gets you outside of the car. I don't know if you found that yet.
Yeah, no, that's why you can see it on the video.
Oh, there's a jump! There's a jump! Oh, of course you can't jump because there's a barrier. I've just lost my bonnet.
Yeah, there is a jump in the middle though.
I've just lost my bonnet. I've left my bonnet on a hill.
There's like, what are these logs? Can I try and open these logs? Let's find out. Oh. Nope, that will destroy it.
Yeah, literally, the circle locks up the brakes with the hydro brake or whatever. You know, they have that yellow brake in the centre that's like a handbrake, but it's designed for like locking up the wheels independently of the normal brakes. Oh, I think I've damaged
flip it. Yeah, my bonnet's just come off as well.
I've got a spare wheel. I have literally damaged my car, I think.
If you damage it too much, it'll just reset you. That's what I did driving into the fence. See if I can just park it up.
Oh, I'm trying to flip my car over as well. I'm trying to check if I can get it upside down.
Do you have you got enough of a handle of it that you want to try a quick race, see how first impressions wise, we can see how that sets up, or do you want to be carrying on just have another?
Yeah, I'm just trying to flip my car at the moment. If I can flip my car over, I'll be very happy. And then we can do... I don't know if it's possible, but I'm trying to kick off that ramp and actually just sort of kick off the ramp at the sides and just put the car on its side. I just want to sort of...
I tried a couple of times.
I just want to Jeremy Clarkson it with a freewheeler, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think these are slightly more well balanced.
Yeah.
Can I leave the area? I'm going up into the woods. Yes! I've got loads of air going into the trees, but it put me straight back, teleported me straight back onto the track.
Terminal damage achieved. Oh, well, that's good. That means the car's been fixed again. Yeah,
roadblock.
It is quite. It is quite intuitive. I mean, I can imagine, you know, on a PC, I can imagine this being quite fun with all the steering wheel, like, you know, a simulator type game, because these are the games that are taking it seriously. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm quite enjoying just driving around this area, just drifting around corners and driving a car. It's actually, you know, the only thing I would say is that I did already technically have this. It was called GTA, but then,
well, no, but I mean, this is a simulation.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The difference here is that we can also you know, change the tires and things like that. I'm sure that you can get really into this. I don't know how into this I will get, because for me, Colin McRae has always been, or rallying has always been sort of something that you do. You know, it's not. It's like I have done aircraft simulators where, you know, I have tried to fly a plane all the way to New York or something like that, and about halfway you get bored and you think, how do real pilots not get bored?
But then this is also, there is a race. You're doing races when this is just to tune up your vehicle. And
so are you saying that's what pilots are doing? They're racing, and that's why they don't get bored? Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying they're doing the job. The difference is that this is, I nearly flipped it. This is not just a drive around. This is not the only game mode. So yes, this would be boring, but there's more to do than just this.
I still haven't managed to flip.
Water is your best bet.
Still haven't managed to flip my car. I'm desperately trying.
If you find the little water trough, drive through that sideways, and you'll have the best chance of flipping.
Okay, I don't know what it is.
I'm assuming we're on the same track. I don't know, but there is one. It's got a little sort of watery bit you can drive through. Watching this back, we might find out we were on completely different test tracks.
I wonder if I can hit that pile of logs. That would be fun.
Oh no, we are on the same one. I tried it and my bonnet came off.
Oh, okay. Okay, so in relationship to
it looks like a ramp.
It does. That's what I was going to ramp off. In relationship to the, because there's like a little sort of gazebo place in the centre of the hill, which is probably where they grill sausages and laugh at when they're driving around. Where do you, where is the water trough?
So right, if you, okay, so go to the logs.
I've already driven past the logs, and now I'm.
Well, if you go to the logs, and you can see, when you're next to the logs, you can see that there is a big, like, mound in the middle.
Yeah.
Which has got barriers. So
and also a little sausage grilling place in the centre. Yeah.
Little sausage grilling place. Drive to the right of the mound, and then just keep going, and you should see there's a little water trough, like a bit of road going through it. A bit of the track goes through it.
Just coming back to it now.
So there's also, it's sort of the next lane on from the little dirt ramp. It's just blue.
Yeah, because there's a little dirt ramp which I've been trying to jump over. Oh,
it's basically in the middle of the whole test track.
I found it. Yeah.
And if you drive off to sort of the I don't know, we've not got a map or anything, but if you drive as far away from it as possible and hit it at right angle, you could flip your car depending on the vehicle. The Mini flipped right itself.
well, that was a mini I'm driving. I'm driving a big car.
Here we go. Let's see if this will do it.
I am driving German technology. No, but that's nice. But I've probably oh my lord, I have genuinely wrecked this car. I am now paused, looking at the state of this car. I've just used because I'm in the behind the view. I've used the stick, the analog stick, to have a look at the sides of the car, and I don't think this car is coming back. I also have just discovered I've got a front-wheel drive vehicle, which is interesting. And I seem to have a flat tyre.
No, that's a terminal damage.
It's a front. It's the front wheel, which is the drive wheel, which may explain why I've struggled. All right, what's your suggestion then, team leader?
Well, I didn't know. I'm going to come out of this because I've had enough of that. I'm going to go back to main
How do you
menu.
get out of it? Options, probably.
Just
options.
press the options button.
Main menu.
A list, and I've quit to main menu, and I just want to see, just while we're live exploring, as it were, let's see how easy it is to set up a 2-player race, if at all possible. So I'm going to go to custom.
In custom, you can race
In
your
custom,
way,
you can do a
creating
thing a
custom
friendly
events
man
and
tells you in
Tell
his
you what,
voice.
while you
Make
do
a
all
custom
that,
solo
what I'm going to
against
do then is
AI,
I'm going to go through
or
the
you
other
can set up a
menus
public
so
lobby
that
and
everybody
pit
in the other
yourself
window
against
can have
other
a
players
look at the
in
other
this.
menus. How about that?
Ooh, okay, I've got to set up a lobby, so I'll have to invite you anyway.
So there are teams, there are events, there's garage and staff, and then in free play was where we've just been. And then we have something with Colin McRae celebrating the legend, and then the store is probably where you buy things.
I hope this... I was going to say, I hope this isn't just going to invite all of the people in my friends list. It just said invite friends, and it thought about it for a long time.
Well, let's hope not too many of them have already downloaded it then, and or are playing it. Okay,
it's gone to a list. It's fine. I've just chosen.
Join. Here we go. That was relatively painless. It did take me out of the experience. I did have to go back to the dashboard, but it instantly took me to your profile and the join, so it wasn't painful, which was nice.
So, select the location, vehicle class, and surface degradation for the event. I'm just going to choose the first one and the first one. And we'll just confirm and see if this will let us start.
Okay. Oh, wants me to pick a car again. I'm
3 cars to choose from. I know how the mini handles, so
it
I'm
doesn't
probably
give
do
me
that.
the Golf. I'm going to go with a Lancia.
So you shouldn't have trusted me to set that up, should you? I just
Very disappointed.
weighing the dice to my own
Very
favour.
disappointed.
Right, so hopefully this is just a straight up
H1 1982
race.
FKL. Hopefully that's my registration number.
And then I suggest maybe we'll see if this takes us about, I don't know, 5 minutes or whatever to do. Then we'll maybe go away and have another couple races.
3.35 kilometers, lots of turns. Yeah, I mean that's. I mean, if you're travelling at 30 kilometers an hour, you can do that quite quickly. I mean, I could bloody walk that in an hour. I mean, to be honest, I could probably walk it in half an hour. But all right, I'm just gonna hit start. I'm not going to customize. That's something we'll jump into in a minute. I do like
into 6 left long, into caution, 5 right over crest and narrow bridge,
I've got a man in a
into
high-vis
1 left
jacket
tight and
looking
small
in, and
cut.
I've got somebody's
Good
very
luck.
loud commentary in my ear. Are we racing at the same time, or are we taking it in turns?
I think
How
we
does this
race
work?
together because it's stages. So in the real race, what would happen is that we both set off with a delay. And of course you'd have like a time,
6 left
a
long,
staggered
into
start
caution,
of
5 right
the
over
race.
crest and
Oh
narrow
my
bridge,
lord, the Lancia
into
hand
1
was
left
horrible.
tightens, small cut, 30,
So you'd have like a staggered start where perhaps there'd be like a
4 right tightens,
cars leaving every 60
into
seconds.
5 left,
Every 5 minutes, and then of course that is taken into account
into
with the
2
finish.
right long,
And then the times
tightens,
are
into 1
aggregated at
left
the
long,
end. That's how I
opens,
understand
caution,
rallying.
tightens of a narrow bridge,
I really wish I'd gone into settings and changed the audio commands.
into 3 left,
Because he's just telling me things.
30.
I've fallen off.
Do you know, I just
Unrecoverable
did
car.
exactly the same thing.
It's that little bridge.
Exactly the same place.
Is that it?
Yeah,
Is that the end?
you didn't
Forgot
go.
this continues
You
in
didn't
22.
go past the finish line. I loved it. As I was about to say,
Oh.
I've just fallen off, and you said, I've just fallen off.
Well, let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
I
next
like
then.
that. Yeah, I mean that's. I mean, basically,
I was taking that very gingerly as well.
DNC did not complete effectively.
Finished. 19th.
I like that though.
Oh,
I have to
funny
say,
that.
I like that. I thought that was fun. I enjoyed that. That is nice because it's a technical. That's what rallying is. Rally isn't just about all-out speed. It's about technical. It's about setting up your car. It's same with Formula One, really. Though Formula One's become a bit boring over the years. So yeah, I can see that. Can we do that again?
We'll have what should we have?
Yeah,
one more
I
go?
want to
And,
at least bloody finish.
Well, I can't guarantee that I will. Should we just try the
Yes,
same
please.
stage?
I really enjoyed that, though. I thought that was really funny that we both fell off at the same bridge. Oh, dear. I'm
I'm going
going for the Lancia again.
Which one
I'm
did you
going
have?
for the Lancia, the red Lancia.
I'm going to have this thing. Don't know what it is.
The blue one. I
that-
don't know if it's a
I'm
Citroen
gonna
or not.
make
I
it-
didn't actually check it. I can't remember what it was.
I'm going to make it white. No, I'm going to
just
make
leaving mine the way
it
it is.
blue and yellow.
Yeah.
I'm not a car person. I haven't got a bloody clue. I'm just going to go really, really slowly.
Yeah, I think.
Which is what I thought
Well,
I was
me
doing
too.
already.
But it was so funny. I thought I had it so under control, and I just overcooked it and went over the bridge backwards. No,
I didn't even make it.
no,
over the
no.
bridge.
I
just went straight off to the right.
I fell off to the right, but I went down the hill backwards. You'll see in the video that I crashed backwards. That's how badly I did. And I tried to recover it. I hit the throttle and tried to climb back up the hill, and it wasn't having any of that. Oh dear.
So nice and gentle. Here we go.
So I'm just going to click start. And
Starts into 6 left long. Starts into 6 left long. Into caution.
I think the
on
guy
right of
speaking
a
to
crest and
us, I
narrow
believe,
bridge.
is
Into one left
the
tightens small
navigator
cut.
explaining the
Good luck.
turns and what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's quite nice, and just if it's just a one-player game, then you would it's quite immersive, especially with
6 left
headphones.
long.
That's
Into
quite nice.
caution. 4, 3, 2,
Into caution.
I jumped the start.
My
last time as well.
my
I jumped
navigator
right.
appears
6
to be
left long. Into caution. 5 right of a crest and narrow
I
bridge.
think mine is a
Yeah,
slightly
yes.
fight right of the
Tightens
crest.
small
a
cut.
little bit.
30.
I wonder if he's some famous person.
4 right
Oh,
tightens.
steady, you
Colin
maniac!
McRae
What are you
was
doing? You're going to get us killed if you go off the bridge again.
So I just a little bit. I was kind of expecting Colin McRae to be my navigator. But all
Into
right.
2 right long. Tightens.
He's got better things to
Left
do
yeah,
this
he's
time.
got
I am
his
going
game
so
to
slow.
himself.
Tightens of a narrow
I
bridge.
don't know if I'm going slowly or not. I've managed to get over the bridge though. I've got over the
Into
bridge.
3 left.
Well, you're
I've
ahead
got
of me
over the
then.
bridge.
Oh
30.
God! Oh, I just about made it.
Right tightens.
Oh, right. Oh, I'm shouting at you now.
I
You're
have
properly.
just crashed, though.
Into
I'm
2
still on the
left.
road. Another bridge. Oh my God! Another
50.
bridge. Another bridge. Another
Narrow
bridge.
bridge.
I just
Into 3
Oh,
right.
I'm so
Don't
tempted
cut
to go and run
tightens.
over the
Into 3 left
spectators, but that's
tightens.
not so good. Oh, it's not so
I
good.
would imagine that's a
Into 4
huge.
Oh, I
right
would
long.
think so.
Tightens. Don't cut.
Fun fact,
Into 1 left
my
tightens.
stepfather-in-law
Into
was
one right long,
actually a
into
marshal
left.
for the Nesta Rally here in Finland, and they still go to the rally periodically. But
Into
yeah,
3
one of the guys
left.
blows the whistles when
Into
the
don't
cars
cut,
are
1
coming
right
and make sure that
tightens.
spectators don't
Into 1
jump in
left
the middle of the road and
tightens.
things like that. So and rolls the cars, or used to roll the cars back upright when they were there.
30.
Because of course there are a lot of rally drivers from
2 right
Finland.
tightens.
Mainly because our roads are
Into
so
3
bloody
left long
awful.
of a
You have
crest.
to be a rally driver to drive on them.
Which is part of a normal driving lesson.
Bridge.
Because of the winter,
left
the
of
roads,
30
the tarmac
into
gets
right
lifted up and
tightens.
lifted down, so there's like that undulation across the
Into
road.
6
So
left.
They are a little bit bumpy.
Into
The main
caution,
roads
2
are.
right long,
I shouldn't say
tightens of a
that's
narrow
bad.
bridge.
They aren't as bad. We don't have quite the
2
pothole
right,
problem
don't cut.
that I know that we
50.
have in Britain. So.
Unseen open hairpin left.
I'm not a driver, so it doesn't. I never notice these things. Never really comes up in my head.
100.
I don't understand.
If I was going faster, this would be quite
I don't
impressive.
understand any of these
50.
instructions I'm getting, but they are really nice.
I'm just following the arrows. Just follow the bloody arrows. What are you talking about, man?
2 right tightens, but he's telling me to turn right, but the road drifts left. He's got,
Into two
the instructions
right
are so ahead of the game that I'm like,
Into two
I'm
left,
confused because
Right tightens, left tightens.
I think is it a tight turn? As in, oh, that's a tighten.
Opens.
Oh,
I guess. I mean,
it's a tight turn.
Because
It's a nice
initially I
tight
thought,
turn.
where are the bloody robots? I hadn't seen any Titans or anything like that.
50.
Oh, that makes loads of sense. If that's what he's saying, it's just his accent,
don't
and I'm
know.
sorry.
You know.
Left into unseen. Open hairpin
I've
left.
just fallen off the
It's a
road,
handbrake
and
turn.
I am. Ooh, I haven't not.
Handbrake
I'm
turn.
not in an
Keep left.
unrecoverable
Into
position.
6 right of a grid. Into 1 left
Let's see if I
tightens.
can get back on the road.
It's going to drive me
Into
mad
two
if I
right
don't know if he's saying
longs.
tight turns or just tight. What is it? Is it a rally saying
I have
tightens?
no
like
idea.
me? I just like
6
saying
right.
tightens in a Welsh
Generally
accent.
haven't watched
left.
A
Rally.
close approximation of what.
Generally haven't watched Rally. for years. I
30.
used to watch
Caution.
them with,
2 left of a crest
like I said,
narrow.
with the stepfather-in-law, because he used to bring the videos back and things like that. We used to go through
Into
them, 'cause they
6
were quite
right. Into
interesting.
caution. Unseen. 1 left.
And
Tightens
it's
narrow.
always nice to be interested in someone else's hobby, and it's a cool hobby to have. To
Into
actually
one
go
right
out and
tightens.
generally try and
30.
make sure that people don't get injured and things like that. So
Well, yeah, that is
3
important.
left long. Into don't cut 1 right.
road again.
Into don't cut
Opens.
one right. Don't cut.
Do you
one
know,
left.
it's telling me you are ahead of me. I can see the progress bar. It's telling me you are far
Into
further ahead of
5
me,
left
but then I
long.
have come off the
Tightens
road.
don't cut.
So you're going to get a better time than I am.
Yeah, I hope so. I'd like to actually be semi-good at one of the games.
Into 2 right long. Tightens.
Not be a massive embarrassment like all the other games.
No, you're not a massive embarrassment.
Opens. 3 long.
I invite you to rewatch
I've
the
just
Sims
put my
episode.
car upside down. That's it. Game over for me.
Don't cut.
Recoverable.
Open hairpin left.
Oh no, I've been put
all
back
I've
on the
gotta do
road.
is
I've been
stay
put back on the
safe.
road. That's fine.
Oh, it put me back. I had 4-second penalty because I nearly hit a fucking
A person.
a box
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. But stopped by
I already
Marshall.
said the F word, so I wouldn't worry. And I can't.
Have I?
I can't
I'm
edit
so
out
sorry.
now because you've already said it.
Well, I think I
Yeah,
finished.
I'm nearly there.
Oh, I see. I can see.
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Marker on
I
the
only
check
just
the
noticed
times.
that. It's actually quite. I mean, oh, you've crashed again. Oh, I've been terrible at this.
Well, I'm assuming I'm at the bottom.
Stopped by Marshall.
I'm not. I was 18th. I wasn't. Oh, I wasn't. There was a
That's
computer
dangerous
player
stuff,
behind me as
but
well.
it
That's
fell
good.
fast.
I was stopped by a marshal. I was 5:15.
Yeah, I got that
78.
at
I
the
got a
end.
trophy. 5:15, 78. My car is all bashed up, and I am basically at the bottom.
I got a trophy. Household name.
That wasn't.
pleased with the trophy.
That
That's a
wasn't
nice,
too bad, was it? It was actually quite nice and quite easy to set up, I think. So
Very intuitive so far. Yeah, and the driving is not painful. It's not punishing. It's realistic, but not. It's not so far that you feel that you need to actually have passed a driving test to be able to play it, which is what some of these games can be like.
how about we
right,
take
so
a break there, and we continue to play, and then we come back momentarily for our final thoughts.
I think that sounds like a plan. I will speak to you shortly.
So we've put some hours into Dirt Rally 2.0, also known as Colin McRae Rally number 13. Or that's what I thought it was. Yeah, because I keep for some reason thinking it's Colin McRae, not Dirt Rally 2.0. But after putting some hours in, what did you think about the playability, 3T?
It's very playable. It's very easy to just pick up and play, as we demonstrated. I hope in the first part. It's surprisingly not. I think I used the word punishing as well. It doesn't punish you. It lets you ease into it. Obviously, different cars, different classes will have different difficulty curves, as we also found out through some of the races that we've done. But I was quite impressed actually with how playable and how just overall kind of easy it was to pick up and just go for it, having no real, I'm putting inverted commas around it, driving game experience. I've played a lot of racing games, but I don't play a lot of driving games. What about you?
Yeah, very playable. I think that what I liked about it was that if you just want to pick it up and drive, you can. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't punish you, but it isn't easy either. It's quite difficult. No, I mean, like first race, we both fell off a bridge at the same place. I mean, there it goes. And I spent quite a little bit of a few races driving backwards because I found that was easy because some of the cars we picked have been horribly overpowered. But the thing is, I think if you go in and you tune the car and you sort the car out and you actually understand the rally prompts, like it took a little bit of time to actually understand the co-driver, being that his English was questionable, but the playability's there, yeah, and it's as easy and as difficult as you want to make it, but it certainly is not easy, but it's also not punishing. When it comes to replayability, it's a driving game at the end of the day. It's a technical driving game. It's a game where you've got to be technically accurate because it's all about hitting the corners at the correct time, at the correct speed, and going around. And so I can see the appeal, and I can also see the fact that you can totally customize your vehicles, change the tuning, and so it appeals to me on quite a lot of levels because you can make it as in-depth as you like, and you can come back and you can say, all right, I couldn't do that with that configuration, let's change the suspension, let's change the tires, let's see if we can do it like that. What about replayability for you?
I actually, just thinking it over, it's one of the first games that I'm going to ever say, or probably maybe the only game I'll ever say this about. I think it's probably one of the ones that's better on your own. As much as I'm always in every other game, I wish there was a 2-player mode. Why isn't 2-player easy to do? I think this is the kind of thing that you could just go, it's Sunday afternoon, let's have a drive. Let's try and better my time. Let's see if I can handle these corners better this time than I did last time. The thing. Well, I'll go into that in a bit. Another category it will cover. But yeah, I think very replayable, very easy to just probably get lost in just setting up events or just playing through several things and just in your own space and in your own time, just having a lovely drive.
Yeah, I mean that was the thing. It was quite nice. I mean, even when we were competing together, we were still not together. We were just together. But it was nice to see you had that instead of having a ghost. Like some racing games, you are following a ghost. You're following the optimum track, the optimum track, or you're banging into each other. This was quite nice. I mean, Trackmania Turbo did it quite nice, where you were on the same track but you were ghosted out. So you couldn't impede with other people, but it was still there. Whereas this was, you're on your own. It's rally. You do the stage on your own. Don't hang about too much. Try not to fall off the bridge, because there'll be a guy setting off 5 minutes behind you. But get it done, and it's technical. Enjoy it. Enjoy the Titans. And off you go. And I quite like that, and I like the technical aspect of it. I didn't see any hidden catches or concerns. I did see a shop there, and I did see that you could probably buy things, but I'm afraid didn't go anywhere near it. Wasn't interested in it. Just wanted to drive. Happy with the basic cars that are there. But I can imagine you could go crazy like you could with a lot of games, and a lot of games have this extra content these days that you can buy and install, but I don't know because I didn't go there, didn't see it, but it must be there.
I think it is. All games have that at some level now, but you don't need it. There's certainly plenty of options, plenty of customizability without having to go near any any kind of DLC or anything like that. I think we've sort of covered this, but just going into overall fun, how much fun would you say this is? That's a strange way of wording it. Is this fun?
Well, it's not. It doesn't go up to 11, but it certainly surpasses 10. I'll tell you that.
Why not make 10 one more fun and just call it 10?
No, because this goes to 11.
I see.
You understand? It goes to 11. But yeah, I mean, if you don't get that, then you need to find that.
You're just too young.
But yeah, you're just too young. Yeah, you're not. That's the thing. It's terrible, isn't it? I enjoyed the fun factor. I had fun playing it. I enjoyed driving. I enjoyed even the frustration of literally. I mean, I was basically driving a Dodgem car for some of them. I mean, you'll see some of the footage, literally bouncing from one side of the road to the other because once you've overcooked it. But I was still having fun because I was trying to stabilize the car and trying to carry on. I mean, I've destroyed I don't know how many cars, and I did like the physics, the real physics, that the car was degrading as you were driving. So the more little contacts you have, and that means it gets harder then to drive because the car is more knackered. And the thing is, I noticed that when we first were playing, when we had the sandbox bit, because and it didn't dawn on me really until a few races in when I went, I'm making this harder for myself because I'm destroying the car.
And then you get a little snapshot at the end of the race that shows you exactly how knackered the car is, which is quite nice.
And dirty as well. So yeah, I would say fun factor is there. And again, I think, just stepping back, my fun here was just driving a car. I quite enjoyed driving a car and trying to technically get to the finish. However, I can also imagine some people's fun is custom configuring that car, particularly people who understand what they're doing when it comes to balancing a car and, tuning the car and setting the spoilers, making the airflow right, setting the geometry, balancing the vehicle. I can imagine the fun that they would also have. Not necessarily my kind of fun. But I think fun for a lot of people. So I can see they've really tried, and it's a very pleasing simulation. I could imagine playing it with a force feedback steering wheel. That would probably be interesting. I've driven with simulating games, NASCAR with a steering wheel, and it does change the dynamics of the game. But I've also played driving games with joysticks as well, and so I don't think we're getting the full experience on the PlayStation platform without a steering wheel, but I think the experience is there, and a small part of me had a wonder because I haven't looked yet, and I'm just wondering. I look at the PlayStation controller, and I know it's got tilt sensors and all that kind of stuff in there, and I'm wondering if there was an option to turn it into a steering wheel, and that would be
very possibly. 6-axis stuff is there, isn't it?
Again, it's a case of coming back and having a look. At this moment in time, I'm happy just to sort of drive it in the same way as I drive. Like you said, it's GTA. The vehicles basically drive the same way as any cars drive on the PlayStation
standard
platform.
Configuration for car controls.
But when you go into the configurator, there were so many options that I just didn't go back there again. I think we saw that in part 1 where I dropped into the options and just scrolled through and went, no. And I only went in there because I needed to reverse my Y-axis. But then I realised that we weren't playing in the Y plane anyway, so it didn't matter.
There's lots of different levels of fun. Like you say, the customization. If you're a proper car nerd, more power to you, by the way. I'm not using that in a derogatory sense. I'm a nerd. But if you're a proper car geek and you love all of this stuff, you could spend hours configuring your controls and configuring your cars and your vehicles and just having a lovely time. Or you can, just like me, jump in and go, I'm going to drive a Mini. I'm going to drive a Mini round a track, and then just have a little bit of fun as a in and out, put the kettle on, or hours and hours of endless fun having there's something for everybody, I think, on every level, which is quite rare in some of the games we've been playing recently.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we have come up with some awful games. I mean, we have come up with some brilliant games, but we have gone through some awful games as well.
We were due a good one, but not giving anything away there. Similar games. The only thing that I would compare this to, the only other similar game I've ever played is I've played a couple of different of the WRC, the World Rally Championship games on previous PlayStations. And even then, I think that was just through demo discs. Remember when magazines used to give you demo discs? And I always found quite a bit of fun in that, but I've never owned another rally game or any sort of driving simulator. I mean, you've got a bit more experience, so this might be one you've got a bit more to say.
Well, you see, I have. You see, on the PC, I have done NASCAR type stuff, but not just the ovals. I've actually done, and that was the nearest thing I could come up to with the Rallycross. When it comes to rallying, I've driven, I've played rally games before, but their names I don't know because they just come and go. And I've obviously played them on arcades and so on. So, but I mean, really, I think you made a couple of references to Mario Kart when we were messing about.
But that's what it's not like.
Yeah, but I don't know because the sort of the travelling sideways off the track, and I mean, the only thing that's missing is throwing red shells at things. But it isn't Mario Kart. You can make it Mario Kart. It isn't because it's more technically, it's more realistic, but it's a very realistic simulation of driving. And the cars, if you have a too powerful car that you can't control or you're not used to, you're all over the place. And I like that. I did enjoy the fact that, one of the tracks, we had horribly overpowered cars. You just touch the accelerator and you're just literally gone, and that's it, no control. So yeah, I mean, it's basically like any kind of driving game that I've played that's been quite realistic. I've played World Rallycross. I've done Colin McRae games in the past. I've done NASCAR and like saloon car racing games, and I've done Formula 1 games. It's a combination of all of those put together. What it isn't is it isn't your Mario Kart, really. But you can make it Mario Kart if you want. You can just have fun and just hey. But then the game is quite sensible and serious, because if you do try and go the wrong way, the game says, oh no, 14, 13, you're going to be punished, 12, 11, and then it ends the game. Or if you do damage your vehicle, the game is over. If you do, want to be put back on the track, you can be. But it is a serious game. It isn't a game that's making fun of itself. It is taking itself very seriously as a real simulator. And I think that's where the difference is. And it's a very professionally put together game. Didn't get stuck next to a berm in a post or something. Some of the sponsorship did bring back some post-traumatic moments of motorcycling. So what about the space, the time, and the download? I mean, do you think it's been worth it? It was a very big download. It was 78 gigabytes.
It was, but it's an overnighter, which I think most people, if you're downloading anything full game-wise, you're probably starting it and going to bed and waking up and then playing it, or leaving it overnight in rest mode or whatever. So I think the time irrelevant. The hard drive space, yeah, I think it probably is worth it. I think if you've got room on your dashboard, there's no reason to say that it's not worth being there. I think it holds up. It can hold its head high amongst other things on the dashboard. The only reason that things don't stay on my dashboard are for room. Like if a giant game comes along that has basically given me an empty disc and says you need to empty out the entirety of the PlayStation Store to be able to play this game, then I do remove things. But I think in this case, yes, it probably is worth the space and the time as well. I mean, do you? Yeah,
I did. I did, and I think that's telling you that's if you're listening carefully, that is preceding something. I did think it was worth the download time. Unfortunately, a larger game has come along with a larger installation, which has forced me to do some housekeeping and make some drastic cuts. But it is in my library, and so I can go back to it. And it is, like you say, an overnight download, and I can see myself downloading it again. I'm also thinking I might need a bigger hard drive in my PlayStation at some point, just because games are getting awfully big. But yeah, I did think it was worth it. Like you said, I did start the download and then went to bed and left it downloading overnight. I did think it was excessive at the time. I did 78 gigabytes. Oh my god! I think I said to you. However, now I've seen the game and I've seen the actual video quality of it and the technical quality of it and the size of the maps and the scale of it, I can see why it is so big. And yeah, I think based on the experience of the game and the size of the game, I can see why it's big. I can appreciate it, and like you said, you just stick it on and go to bed. It'll be fine. It'll be ready in the morning. So yeah.
I think that sometimes we need to reframe these questions that we ask ourselves every week or every month, because I personally wouldn't have paid for it. Is it worth the money? Yeah, it probably is. I would say it's worth it. If you were going to buy a rally game, it probably is worth it. Is it worth the PlayStation Plus sort of subscription? Maybe not quite on its own, but yeah, if this is the only decent game that we get this year, I don't feel massively cheated. I mean, obviously there are other games available. Uncharted 4 is also available this month, which we've avoided because it seems the bigger, more well-known option as well. But yeah, I think it's worth it, but I personally would not have paid for it.
No, and that's the thing, and I think that's again, that comes back to the beauty of the actual PlayStation Plus system, is that you get your games, you get the ability to play and the ability to keep a library of games as long as you're a subscribed member that you can pause whenever you want, really, and walk away and then read, and it will come back again. So I think it's worth the value in there. I don't think it's a game I would have bought from a game shop, or not one I would have picked from there. Again, though, I don't think Uncharted is a game series. I mean, I've got Uncharted, I've got them still in original boxes that I haven't opened and played, that are sitting. It's the same. It's a sad case with my PlayStation 3. I've got lots of games that I haven't actually played, that I've just accumulated over time. And it isn't helping that we do this every month, and also that we generally play. We've got the games. We don't have enough time. That's the problem. I don't have enough time to play every game, and so I need a game to be amazing to keep it. And to say yes, I'd buy it. And Dirt Rally 2.0 comes very, very close, if I'm honest. I said the only reason that it isn't with me still, as I speak to you now, is because I needed the space for a game that for some reason has decided it wants to download the entire DVD again as an update, which is really annoying.
It's the curse of again the modern world, is that there's too much media, not enough time, and as a quote from a film that you will know, time is the fire in which we burn. And something has to really grab my attention for me to say I would part with extra money for it. But there you go, not a bad game at all. Probably the best one we played this year so far, I would say. And with that, this is 3T.
And this is Mike Papa Foxtrot. And we were looking at Dirt Rally 2.0 that is currently freeloadable from the PlayStation Network for April 2020.